Somebody get these beggars out of here.
What's good, everybody? This is NoG Collecting, and today I have a different type of video for you. We're going to be going over the Bandai Movie Monster series, the figures that they have made and the figures that they should definitely make. The series has been going on since 2001 and is still going to this day, obviously. 2001, by the way, I was 2 years old, and we have yet to hit every single Godzilla kaiju across all the movies. What are we doing? They've introduced new sublines into the series. We have the posing, we have the Giga, and we have the 2.0 sublines currently. So they're kind of stalling the newer kaiju that they haven't gotten to yet, which is kind of a bummer because, like, for instance, why do we not have any Showa Mothra representation? You would think that'd be a no-brainer because it's Mothra. She's one of the big five, but I digress. Now, this won't be a big history lesson on the line. I'm not as well versed with Bandai in the Movie Monster series like someone of Shinra Jira, right? But we are going to go movie by movie and see which kaiju haven't had a figure yet and which ones have. So without further ado, let's get to the OG. Starting off with Godzilla 1954, we have Godzilla, right? And of course, we've gotten tons of figures of this guy. We have the regular Movie Monster series release. We also have the Godzilla the Art. We have a maquette version of this guy, which is pretty dope. Next, we have Godzilla Raids Again with Godzilla and the first opponent in the series, Anguirus, Anguiner, Anguilla, Anguagalo, however you want to say his name, man. And of course, we got figures of both Godzilla and Anguirus from this movie. I want to say these guys came around whenever the man in the suit started gaining traction and getting popular, but I could be wrong. That's what I remember at the time. Now with King Kong versus Godzilla, this is a tricky one. I'm pretty sure King Kong, the character, is still owned by Universal, so I'm not sure if Toho is ever going to get around to anything with this guy. Movie Monster series, we don't have a figure for him. We also don't have a figure for the 62 Godzilla, King Goji. We do have a memorial box figure of this guy, and we also have a Bandai 8-inch King Kong figure from back in, I want to say 93, could be wrong, but no Movie Monster series for these guys. I don't know why they're selling on King Goji. Come on, Bandai, please. Next, we have Mothra versus Godzilla, and of course we have Godzilla, Mothra in her Imago form, and the two Mothra larvae. We recently got a Godzilla 1964 figure in the line, thankfully. Now, when I say recently, I mean like 5 years or sooner. That's what I mean by recently. But we do have him. We don't have a Mothra, larva, or Imago. I don't know what's going on. Mothra's one of the big five. This is one of the more popular Showa films, so Bandai, it's the year of Mothra. Get to it, man. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, featuring Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, worm form, and obviously the titular character, Ghidorah himself. Now, some fun trivia, this Godzilla suit is the same one as Mothra vs. Godzilla, except the head was damaged during the production of Mothra vs. Godzilla, so they had to make a new one for this movie. That's why they look a little off, but a little similar. There's no Godzilla figure for this movie. There's no Mothra larva figure for this movie. There's no Rodan figure for this movie in the Movie Monster series line. I'm not sure what's going on. Now, Rodan again is a member of the Big Five, but they're not giving him any love. Now, the Showa Rodan is my least favorite Rodan design, so I'm not like that upset about it, but I would still like representation of him, to be fair. But recently we did get the Ghidorah finally. It was long overdue. We were long overdue for a Showa Ghidorah in the line, and we got him, so hats off to Bandai for that. Invasion of the Astral Monster, featuring Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah again. Now, as far as figures go for this movie, we don't have Showa Rodan still, like I mentioned before. We do have a 1965 Godzilla under the premium Bandai release. I don't like how they put standard molds and put it behind a premium Bandai release. Like, I get that the posing figure was the standard release, so you have representation with that, but I just kind of want my standard Godzilla pose. Sorry. And yeah, we got Ghidorah, so 2 out of the 3 kaiju, pretty good. I'll take it. Next up, Ebra Horror of the Deep, a true cult classic of the series in my opinion, featuring Godzilla, Ebirah, the title character, Mothra with a little cigarette on her face, and Giant Condor. Movie Monster Series has graced us with Godzilla just recently this month. We have Ebirah, who's one of my favorite figures in the line. Giant Condor, we appreciate it, Shinrabjira. But again, no Showa Mothra. Maybe one day, man. Moving on to Son of Godzilla, some people's least favorite movie, some people's most beloved. We have Godzilla, Dadzilla, Minya, Kamacuras, and Kumanga. Now, we've been getting figures from this movie really as of late. We started off with Minya a couple years ago, then we got Kamacuras, and now we got this posing Minya and Godzilla figure from the end of the movie when he's protecting them from the snowfall. We still don't have a standard 1967 figure, although there is a memorial box version of him. And Kumanga, now listen, I hate spiders. I hate them. But we need Kumanga representation. I'm sorry. He's in 3 movies in the franchise. 4, I guess, if you count the stock footage in Godzilla's Revenge. But yeah, the only figure in like the 6-inch-ish scale is this YMSF figure. No Movie Monster Series, nothing. The only thing we got is a Super 7 reaction. So Bandai needs to step it up. Destroy all monsters, the largest cast of kaiju in the Showa era. Godzilla, Anguirus, Rodan, Mothra, Minya, Gorosaurus, Baragon, Manda, Varan, Kumanga, Ghidorah. For how massive the cast is for this movie, we have a good chunk of the kaiju from it. We have Godzilla along with the little Mothra larva. We have Gorosaurus, we have Varan. Anguirus, even though it's the 72 figure, it still counts for this because the Showa suit was used for all the late Showa movies. It was the same one. We have Baragon. Now that's from the Frankenstein vs. Baragon movie technically, but it was just a modified version of the suit, and I don't think they're going to release a 1968 specific Baragon anyway. This counts in my eyes. And of course, again, we have Ghidorah. Now, we're missing Rodan, of course. We're missing Kumanga, and we're also missing Manda. I feel like we should have gotten a Manda figure by now. Granted, he's in... That's it. This is the one movie he's in the Showa era, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, he might not be high on the list, but we'll get him eventually. And, you know, of course, I kind of forgot him until just now. Minya. So, yeah, Minya. Speaking of Minya, we have All Monsters Attack, aka Stock Footage 101. Now we have Godzilla, we have Minya, we also have the man himself, Gabra. Like before, we have a Shoshin Goji figure, we have Minya, and we recently got Gabra, so the gang is all complete. I'm not counting the stock footage, man. Come on. Moving on to peak Showa filmmaking, Godzilla vs. Hedorah. And yes, I fully meant that. This movie is fantastic, gorgeous, amazing. We have Godzilla and Hedorah, and honestly, the Movie Monster Series has done a really good job at covering Hedorah in all his different forms, as well as many, many repaints. We have Godzilla, we have crawling form Hedorah, we have the landing bipedal Hedorah, we have flying form Hedorah, and the standard Hedorah. The only type of form we're missing is that form in the beginning of the movie when he's like in the water. That's really about it. Other than that, we have all of the forms represented. So yeah, they really love Hedorah. And it's his 55th anniversary this year. So can we get some more, please? Perchance? Did I mention this movie's peak? Moving on to Godzilla vs. Gigan. More peak. Late Showa is just good, man. We have Godzilla, we have Anguirus, we have Gigan, and we have King Ghidorah. This is one of the more notable and iconic casts of the Showa films. So of course, we have Shoshin Goji, we have Anguirus, we have Gigan, and we have Ghidorah. Easy peasy. Godzilla vs. Megalon, another iconic cast. Godzilla, Gigan, Jet Jaguar, and Megalon. They were cooking with the designs in the late Showa, man, I swear. And this is another completed cast. Godzilla 1973, Jet Jaguar, Megalon, and Gigan from before. Moving on to the best Showa era movie. You heard me right. The best Showa era movie, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, featuring Godzilla, Mechagodzilla for the first time, and King Caesar, the GOAT. Oh yeah, and Angus. Now, they have done the entire cast of this movie. We recently got Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, and the flying form of Mechagodzilla. We also have King Caesar, but this guy came out in the early 2000s, so we really need an updated mold for him because, I mean, look at him. This man was on the Super Size Me documentary. Come on. Oh yeah, and Angus. I really need Bandai to make a posing version of 1974 where he has the missiles in his neck and he's like grabbing his neck. We need that. We need that. Or even better, we need a posing figure where he has the power lines just like, stuck to him because of the magnetic stuff. Dude, that'd be dope. Please, Bandai, please listen to this. Please make that. And the last entry in the Showa era, Terror of Mechagodzilla, featuring Godzilla, Mechagodzilla 2, and Titanosaurus. Again, Showa era was peak, especially late. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As for the figures, we got Godzilla, we got Titanosaurus, we also got Mechagodzilla 2, so the whole cast is there, and I'm happy. The Movie Monster series is a really good outlet to get Showa representation on your shelves. You don't get a lot of Showa stuff out of companies like SH Monster Arts or really even X Plus. Now they do, and they have recently been doing Showa, but it's more of the typical, popular kaiju. It's none of the niche stuff. Like, we're never getting a giant condor in any other line. Maybe Super 7 Reaction, maybe, but Bandai is going to be the place to get someone like that, right? Now, looking at the Showa era in total, we have 43 potential kaiju that the Movie Monster series could make figures of. Now, I'm not counting kaiju from solo films like Rodan from his movie, the Showa Mothra from her movie, or like Mogira from the Mysterians, right? These are just kaiju from the mainline Godzilla movies. And after reviewing all the movies and all the figures we've gotten, we can determine that we have gotten 32 out of 43 potential kaiju. What's interesting to note is that we're only missing 2 Godzillas, 1964 Godzilla from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and more notably 1962 from Godzilla vs. King Kong. Why? Why have we not remade that figure in the Movie Monster series? I don't care if you take the mold from the memorial box and just repackage it, just give us a figure, please. I'm begging. And to no surprise, a lot of the more niche Showa kaiju haven't been made. Kumanga, Manda. I mean, I wouldn't consider Showa Mothra niche, so I don't know what they're doing with her, but yeah. Overall, the Movie Monster series, like I said earlier, is a great way to get Showa representation on your shelves, and hopefully in the future they keep making some of the figures we haven't gotten yet. Now we move on to the Heisei series, starting with the Return of Godzilla, Godzilla 1984, Godzilla 1985, whichever title you want to use. And obviously, featuring Godzilla, we got a Godzilla figure for this guy. Now, what is cool is that the Movie Monster series also made a Cybot version of this Godzilla. And to me, that's such a deep cut, so I really appreciate the Movie Monster series for getting to some of that niche stuff, even in the Heisei series. On to a fan favorite, Godzilla vs. Biollante, featuring a newly designed Godzilla, Rose Form Biollante, and Beast Form Biollante. And we have the whole cast, Godzilla, Rose Form Biollante, and Biollante. Now, the standard Biollante figure is way out of scale, so they did make a Giga version of it, but yeah, I'm not paying that much for a Movie Monster series figure, I'm sorry. Moving on to the time travel extravaganza that is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. We have Godzilla, we have King Ghidorah, we have Mecha King Ghidorah, and we also have Godzillasaurus. Now we almost have the full cast. We have a Godzilla, we have a King Ghidorah, we have a Mecha King Ghidorah. We don't really have a Godzillasaurus. There was a Bandai figure that came out back in 1992, but no Movie Monster series version of it. And also, by the way, I'm not counting the Dorats. They're literally the size of like a cat. I'm not counting them. Godzilla vs. Mothra, the Battle for Earth, featuring Godzilla, Mothra, and the cooler Mothra, Batra. Hey man, little side tangent. Batra is rad as hell, alright? I know it's just Mothra, but edgy and evil, but that's why he's good. That's why he's great. His design is good, the color scheme is great, and just, he needed to be in more stuff, and I'm sad he's not. Now, on to the figures. We do have a Mothra and Batra imago. we also have a Batra larva. I was under the assumption we had a Mothra larva figure, but apparently this is based on the Tokyo SOS Mothra larva, even though it came with the 1992 tag. You know, movie monster series, they do some funny stuff sometimes. And we don't have a standard release of Godzilla 1992, but we recently got the posing version. And he has a Mothra larva on the tail, so I guess you could say the cast is complete. Not really, but you can kind of say it. Moving on to one of my favorite classic Toho Godzilla movies, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, if you're in America, featuring Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Rodan, and Baby. For the figures of this movie, we have Godzilla. He's currently on pre-order, but he's releasing this year. We have Mechagodzilla, we have Super Mechagodzilla, and we have Rodan. There's no Baby Godzilla movie monster series. There is a Bandai figure of him, so I'm sure movie monsters will get to him eventually. And I wonder if they'll do a Garuda standalone figure, but they typically don't do vehicles, so probably not. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, featuring Godzilla, Space Godzilla, Little Godzilla, and Mothra. Now for the figures, we almost have a full cast. We have Godzilla, Space Godzilla, Little Godzilla, Mothra, but we're missing Space Godzilla's crystal form as seen in the beginning of the movie when he's chasing down Mothra. Now, I'm surprised Bandai hasn't made this. They've been doing a lot of Space Godzilla merch recently for Supernova, obviously, that's coming out. So maybe they'll get to it eventually, but I know this has been one that fans have wanted for a while. The final entry in the heisei series, Godzilla vs. Destroyer, is fitting because it features the largest cast in the era. We have Burning Godzilla, Godzilla Jr., Destroyer Crab form, Destroyer Aggregate form, Destroyer Flying form, Destroyer Final form, and we have Godzilla Rebirth. Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot in this one movie. Now for the figures, we have all of them. We have every single one. We have Burning Godzilla. We have Godzilla Jr. We have Rebirth Godzilla. We have every single form of Destroyer. So shout out Bandai. They really gave this movie its props. So in totality, we have 30 potential heisei figures that Bandai could release. There's not that many as Showa, but there's still a good bit for only having, 7 movies? And as far as figures we've gotten 26 of the 30. We're just missing Space Godzilla Crystal Form. We're missing Baby Godzilla. We're missing Mothra Larva. I know technically she's part of the posing, but she doesn't have her own single release, so I'm not going to count it. And then we're also missing Godzillasaurus. So there's only 4 left to get to, really. So yeah, obviously Heisei is arguably the most popular Godzilla era, especially in Japan. So it's no surprise they've covered most of the kaiju from this era. Starting off the Millennium era of Godzilla, the best era, we have Godzilla 2000, featuring Godzilla and the alien kaiju Orga. Now, of course, we have figure representation for Godzilla 2000. He's one of the most popular designs, right? But Orga does not get the same love. He doesn't have a figure yet. He has a Bandai figure from back in the day, but nothing in the movie monster series. In fact, a lot of the brands don't make any figures for him. There's really only a Defo Reel figure of him that I own, but Monster Arts, Super 7, Haya, nothing for him yet. We need to fix that. You could also argue that Millennium serves as his own kaiju in the movie and that they should make a figure for him. I don't think Bandai is going to be that bold enough though, but I would like to see it happen. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, one of the more underrated movies in the franchise, let alone this era, featuring Godzilla and Megaguirus, and surprisingly, we got figures for them both. We have Megaguirus that we got a few years ago, and we also have the 2.0 version painted up with the heat ray paint application seen at the end of the movie. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack. What a title, what a movie, one of the best in the franchise. And of course, as the title suggests, we have Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. We also have Baragon. I hate that he was left off the title. Don't get me wrong, the title kind of it's iconic, but Baragon should have been on the title. Come on, man. But we do have the full cast in figure form. We have Godzilla and Ghidorah that released recently, but we don't really have Baragon or Mothra in the 6-inch form in the series. We did have the OG 2001 versions come out way back in the day when the movie first dropped, but they're in 8-inch form. So They don't scale up, but technically the movie monster series has them. So my favorite movie from this era, and one of my favorite movies in the entire franchise, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, featuring Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, aka Kiryu. And this is pretty easy to get. They have figures for them both. We got the 2002 Godzilla, and then we also have Kiryu. The follow-up sequel, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, featuring Godzilla, Kiryu again, Mothra, and the Mothra larva twins. And yet again, we got a full cast of figure for them. We have Godzilla and the dead space Kamiba. You know what? When I bought this is one of the only premium Bandai releases I bought because this is just kind of funny. Why would you include the dead Kamiba? I don't think anyone was asking for it other than meme posts, but we got them. We got Heavy Arms Kiryu, we got Mothra, and we also have the Mothra larva twins. The grand finale of the Millennium Era, Godzilla Final Wars, iconic to its core. Here's the list of kaiju in the movie: Godzilla, Anguirus, Rodan, King Caesar, Mothra, Minya, Kamacuras, Kumanga, Ebra, Hedorah, Manda, Gigan, Zilla, Monster X, and Kaiser Ghidorah. Hopefully I was able to do that in one take. I don't think I forgot anybody. Now, the movie monster series has done a really good job at covering the cast for this movie. We've got almost all of them: Godzilla, Anguirus, Rodan, Mothra, Zilla, Hedorah, Manda, Gigan, Monster X, Kaiser Ghidorah, and also a Minya figure from back when the movie first came out. The only kaiju we're missing from this movie is Kamacuras, Kumanga, and Ebra. We don't have a Kumanga figure, period, so they need to get on that. As a whole, the movie monster series could have made 30 potential figures for the Millennium Era. Half of it is just for Godzilla Final Wars itself. That's one of my favorite part about the movies, is that they took a lot of the Showa kaiju, gave them a redesign, put them in the movie, even if it was just for like 10 seconds. Although I wish some kaiju like Hedorah or Ebra got more screen time, but I digress. Of the 30 figures they could have made, we've gotten 24 of them. We're only missing a couple, specifically Orga, some of the Final Wars figures. So we'll get them eventually. Hopefully we get Orga soon, man. They gotta stop hating on them. On to the most unique era we've gotten so far, the Reiwa era. We're starting off with Shin Godzilla, featuring Kamada-kun, Shinagawa-kun, and Shin himself. And naturally, we got all three of them. That was always gonna happen. Next up is the Godzilla anime trilogy. Now, we're gonna cover all three of these at once just because there's not much variety with them. We have Godzilla Phileas, Servum, the little small kaiju on the planet, Godzilla Earth, Mechagodzilla, he was shown for like 1 second in a complete form, and then we have Void Ghidorah. And we do have the full cast, surprisingly. The Mechagodzilla isn't a standard movie monster series though, it's part of the Master Detail subline, but it's cool to see that we got all of them. Oh, and I'm not counting the Mothra silhouette, by the way. That's not happening. On to the only show we're covering, Godzilla Singular Point, featuring Godzilla in his evolution forms, Jet Jaguar, Rodan, Anguirus, Salunga, Manda, and the Hedorah/Kumanga hybrids. We do have most of these guys. We have Godzilla Ultima, Godzilla Aquatilis, Amphibia, Terrestris, Anguirus, Manda, Salunga, and Jet Jaguar. We're only missing Rodan and the little Hedorah and Kumanga hybrids. I don't think we're ever going to get the little hybrids, but maybe a Rodan in the future. I could see that. On to the most recent Toho Godzilla movie, arguably the best one in the franchise, Godzilla -1, featuring Godzilla in his Odo Island form and his standard appearance. Now, the movie monster series gave us both of these guys to no surprise. Now, in total, there are 20 potential Reiwa figures, and there's only 5 movies in one show, so that's why there's only 20 potential figures to be made. But movie monster series came out with 18 of them, so we're only missing Singular Point, Rodan, and the Hedorah Kumanga hybrid, so it's pretty good. Now that we've covered all the Toho mainline films and shows, we are now moving on to the American side of Godzilla, starting off with 1998 Godzilla. Featuring Godzilla, as far as figures go, we did get the 1998 Godzilla in the movie monster series. Thank you. After so long, we got him. The start of the long-running monsterverse series, Godzilla 2014. Can you believe it's been 12 years since this movie came out? And it's been 12 years that the monsterverse has been going on. Crazy stuff, but on to the movie. We have Godzilla, and we have the male and female Muto. Now, the movie Monster series released Godzilla, naturally, and the male Muto, but no female Muto. I don't know why. Like, I genuinely, like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why not release both of them? Why just one? Next up is Godzilla King of the Monsters, the movie that started off me growing my Godzilla collection, featuring Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, Mothra Larva, Rodan, Queen Muto, Scylla, Behemoth, Methuselah. Now, a trend you'll see with the movie monster series is that they will not cover a singular side kaiju in these MonsterVerse movies. So, we only have Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. None of the side kaiju. So, on to Godzilla vs. Kong, featuring Godzilla and Kong, Mechagodzilla, Warbats, Skullcrawler, and Doug. Who could forget Doug? Like I mentioned earlier, only the main kaiju will be appearing in the movie monster series. So we have Godzilla, Kong, and Mechagodzilla. The most recent film in the MonsterVerse franchise, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. We have Godzilla Evolved, Kong, Shimo and Scar King, Mothra and Zuko, Scylla, Tiamat, and the Drowned Viper. Now we'll only have 4 figures. We got Godzilla Evolved, Kong with the Beast Glove, Shimo and Scar King. Oh yeah, and Mothra too. The American Godzilla movies aren't nearly as popular in Japan as they are here, and since the movie monster series is really catered towards the Japanese market and audience, it only makes sense they don't get to the niche and side kaiju in the American movies. So to no surprise, of the 25 potential figures, they've only made 13. Again, they only got to the main ones, and they're never making the side kaiju ever. So if you want those, just hit up Playmates or wait around for the Haya. And of course, to clarify, I'm really only covering the mainline movies and shows. I'm not covering the smaller shows like Godzilla the series or Monarch, because they're not really like the main, you know what I'm saying? In totality, the movie monster series could have made a potential 148 figures based off of the kaiju in the movies and shows. And they have only made, well, not only, but they've made 113. So they're only missing 35, which is pretty good considering how much. I mean, if you take out the MonsterVerse figures that they never made, I mean, it's much better of a ratio. So, and again, to clarify, I'm not, including any repaints or, stuff like that. Now, as a fun little bonus section, I would like to highlight some of the figures they've made for non-movies and shows, specifically like the video games, the rides, and the Godzilla Day shorts they've done. As far as the video games go, we've gotten Bagan and Super Godzilla. From the rides, we've gotten the Shin Ghidorah and the Shin Godzilla from the Evangelion 4D. From Godzilla the Ride, we've gotten Godzilla and the King Ghidorah. A total 180 switch up. We've got the Godziban little puppet figures. Onto the Gemstone Godzilla universe, we have Gemstone Godzilla, Gigan Rex, and Megalon. Onto the recent Godzilla Day shorts they've done, we've got Jet Jaguar with the Gigan Claws, King Ghidorah, and the Burning Millennium Godzilla. Thank you for watching. If you watched through all of that and you're still here, I really appreciate it. I put a lot of time into this. I know it was really a glorified PowerPoint, but getting all the images and matching up the dialogue with the text and the different images took a lot more time than I thought it would, but I had a lot of fun making it. If you're unfamiliar with the movie monster series, I hope this kind of sheds some light on the figures that you could potentially want to get, like some of the more niche Showa figures. And if you already do collect the movie monster series, maybe this helped you realize what figures we still need and figures that we already have. So, yep, if you liked the video, like it, subscribe. I'm going to post more than just reactions and reviews on the channel. I want to post more of this fun, unique content. So, yep, that's been it from me. Take it easy, G fans.